Following the cancellation of round 10, SKG comes to Belgium for the penultimate round of season 11, and once again there are plenty of driver changes. Mercedes bring an all-new lineup to Belgium, with SKG signing from Sauber and being joined by Ghosty. Imu joins Sauber, whilst Wandy and Marius Anderson swap their RB and Aston Martin seats, and Ula joins Alpine. 4 drivers were also banned following the cancellation of round 10. They will no longer feature on the grid. As for today's track though, 7 kilometres in length, the longest of any circuit on the calendar, and arguably one of the most iconic names in motorsport. This is Spa. So good afternoon ladies and gents, my name is George Sanderson, welcome in to SKG Tier 1, the penultimate round of the season. But before any racing can get underway, let's take a look at your starting grid for the Belgian Grand Prix here in round 11 of season 11. And at the back, 18 drivers taking to the track today, with Adrian and Lewis Jones serving qualifying bans and not setting lap times. It was the 2 Red Bulls on row 8. We've got Kaffa being beaten by Fantomina, but both drivers having a torrid time, and over half a second back from Sananchal in P14. Ula makes his first start in Alpine colours from P13, with Wandy making back-to-back starts outside the top 10 for the first time this season. He has Ajman alongside him on the 6th row. Panos Veras and AMS Mistro were separated by just 13 thousandths of a second on row 5, whilst Luffa and Esko Klavi make up row 4. Imu gets his first start as a new full-time driver at Kit Sauber from P6, whilst Marius Anderson continues his run of starting every race in the top 10. Ghosty is our highest debutant from P4, and it's the strongest qualifying of the season for McLaren, but Katsby and Jacek grabs his 3rd pole of the season. So we go to the 5 red lights for the penultimate time in season 11. And away we go in Belgium. Katsby and Jacek with a wiggle off the start, immediately getting jumped by Josh, as in the background there's a Haas going onto the grass. But into turn 1 at La Source, Josh leads, there's 2 cars off into the gravel. In the background, that's Ghosty and Marius Anderson coming together at turn 1.
That's not good
as
for...
we now head towards Eau Rouge, we have a
VSC.
virtual safety car which will neutralise the race. But it's a McLaren 1-2 and a nightmare start for Katsby and Jacek. He's down to 3rd.
Thank you. Alright, I've been taken out in turn 1, that's great.
Yeah, he got passed by Amos Josh, but I think Takubi just took advantage of Casper being offline.
Yeah,
managed to get round him.
Is out, full course caution. The back 6 on your leaderboard, Wandy Adrian, got Kaffa, Lewis Jones, Ghosty and Marius Anderson. Now the bottom 2 you'd expect, I believe they both have damage. But Wandy straps on a set of the hards, Lewis Jones straps on a set of the hards, and Marius Anderson, by the looks of it, has gone mediums. Softs on his Aston Martin, so he will definitely be stopping again. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah, the Mercedes pit crew there as we ride on board with Marius. We're bringing out a set of hards. Let's have a look what they do.
Oh, Marius back onto the hards.
Marius onto the hards. So he's used all 3 compounds now.
In the first 3 laps.
But in fairness to him, he can now potentially go to the end. I think he maybe rolled the dice with the softs at first, thinking that everyone else was going to convert to a 2-stop rather than a 1-stop.
As a little thing that I am noticing between the 2 McLarens is the gap on this safety car restart. It's nearly a second. So you maybe see Takubi playing a bit of the games with Casper, backing him up, leaving Josh with a bigger gap.
Yeah.
As now we're back to racing and the gap is almost at 9/10. Ajaman going for the outside on Lufu into the bus stop chicane. Brakes later than the Ferrari, gets it done. Nice move from the harsh driver.
A big
there.
slide on the exit of the bus stop there, but he controls it nicely, holds on to P6, and now Lufu is going to come under pressure from the RB of Panos into turn 1. Panos go all the way around the outside. It's soft tyres on the RB versus hards on the Ferrari, and it's the soft tyres that prevail. Panos up into P7. Yeah, I don't think he really tried to go back there. I think Lufu, he's a smart driver. As we go, Katsby and Jacek's gone off. Catsby and Jacek off onto the grass. Has he got any damage on his Aston Martin? No, he doesn't. Front wing is intact, but that is huge in the championship as the man in second, trying to keep this going to the final round of the season, goes off and is down to 7th place. Lap 6, and we look at the kick salver of Imu, who reacts late to a move from Lewis Jones, causing contact between the two of them into the right-hander, and on the exit, Lewis Jones shoves him off the track. Set by Catsby and Jacek, who is now going round the outside of Panos through Blanchimont. We got a very weird camera angle of that, but very nice move by the Aston Martin. He's going to get 2 in 1 straight. He is. The hard tyres coming into their own for the Aston Martin. Catsby from P7 to P5 in a matter of 2 corners, and now he is starting to claw his way back into this race. And I won't be surprised if the Aston Martin is thinking of a move, and look how much he's gaining coming through Radion. He'll open the DRS. Can he go for 2 moves in one? This kick salver. Yeah, the kick salver's flashing, as is the Mercedes, but he's being boxed in here, and that is brilliantly managed by the kick salver. But side by side, it's contact. Contact between the two of them, but Catsby gets through. Keep an eye going into the bus stop chicane, see if either of them comes into the pit lane. Takubi makes the call. That's interesting from Takubi. I think this is the point where he decides, or realises, I would quite like to win a race this season. And he comes into the pits for the undercut. Yes, it is his home race as well, which will mean even more to him to take his first win in SKG in this race. He straps on the hard tyres.
I mean, that would be good to see Takubi winning at his home race. So
it certainly would. And into the pits comes AMS Josh then. So what tyre does the British driver go on to? He's leading this race at the moment as Catsby also comes into the pits. Now that's interesting from the Aston Martin. I expect we'll see him go to the mediums. We see Josh go to the hard compounder tyres. What does Catsby strap on? It is a set of the medium tyres. So that is very interesting.
Game on.
Retires in the pit lane. But as you say, Ollie, game on between these two now. Running on board with the Alpine of Ula. He was gaining on Imu towards the end of the Kemmel straight. Goes to the move that was a little bit late there on the brakes and forced the kick salver to cut the chicane. Let's have a look back at the replay of that, and you can see on board with the salver he was turning for the corner, and suddenly there was an Alpine on his inside, and the game even forced him to give back the position to Ula, which he does, and then finds a Red Bull on his outside who's going to hang it all the way around the outside here, Fantomina. And that is a lovely move by the Red Bull.
Oh, is Panos and Adrian going to go side by side? Oh, we're still going side by side.
Oh, there's contact between the two of them. Adrian goes off into the grass, keeps it out of the wall. But those two, they have history, Panos and Adrian. They've battled each other many a time over the seasons. And between them have over 160 appearances in Tier 1.
Catsby going for the move already, just doesn't want to waste any time being behind Wandy. Or his teammate Panos.
Yeah, Wandy has Panos side by side. Wasn't a great camera angle it gave us there, but Panos down the inside. Will he go down the inside of Catsby and Jacek as well? No, he won't. There's contact between these racing bulls. And that's the rule 1 of racing, lads. You don't hit your teammates.
Actually, bro, are you idiot, mate? We're teammates, mate. Mate, nah, bro, why are you fighting me, man?
Bro, why are you crashing me?
Bro, you're so man. Why the are you fighting me, bro? You should have sent me through, bro. I'm on fresh tires, bro. I was catching up a second per lap, mate. What the are you saying you have? So you're driving your own race, mate. That's so hard, bro.
And Takubi just trying to find a way through as quickly as possible, but look at the gap coming down between these guys and Catsby. He's gained half a second through that section of track as Takubi round the outside at Blanchimont. Will he get the move done cleanly? He's still there, and in fact is Josh finishing the move as well. This could get messy into the bus stop as Lewis Jones dives it. There's contact with the McLaren. Takubi has to cut the corner slightly, but will get the move done by the looks of it. There's still contact between the two of them as they're going down the pit straight. Lewis trying to edge his way back to the racing line, and Takubi just not allowing it.
Now within DRS, and now
Catsby versus Josh. How does Josh play this? In my opinion, he has to be careful, as this is a horrible camera angle for it, but we're on board with the Aston Martin as there's almost wheel banging through Blanchimont. Takubi's on the outside of Katzper. Look at this, we're 4 cars going 2 by 2 into the bus stop. Will everyone make it through cleanly? Josh on the
Lewis
inside.
Jones goes deep.
Lewis Jones goes deep, goes around the outside of Josh and keeps the position. We're still battling over this, and look at the gap. The group, sorry, in the background as well, as Takubi thinks of the move down the inside.
That's still going to be side by side.
Through turn
oh,
1.
My word.
The battling is insane here. As Katzper and Josh are side by side now. The run down towards Eau Rouge. We're still 2 by 2. Surely they can't all make it through this corner.
Oh,
as we climb up through Radio. It's incredible driving from these 4 here. They're putting on a real show for Tier 1. Then Katzper and Jacek thinking of the move. There goes Katzper.
Oh my word, Katzper. What racing that was, as Katzper now gets both the McLarens.
And now looking back at an incident at turn 1 on lap 18, you can see here on board with Adjaman, the Ferrari of Adrian just misses his braking entirely and collects him and Panos.
Marius Anderson, it has a very good chance of winning this race now because of all that battling. A man who has gone on all 3 sets of tyres this race, 2 stops in the first 3 laps. And both might yet win this race.
Made 2 stops in the first 3 laps. They both pit under the first lap of the safety car and then changed their minds to go to the hard tyres.
So they did.
It's worth noting, Katzper Jędrzejczyk currently holds the fastest lap of this race. So as it stands, with P3 and the fastest lap, he will be on 132 points. Josh in P5 will not win the championship today.
Oh, this might be a double move.
Will go on to the final race of the season, but he'll be on 146, and that could all change as we see there. Katzper losing 2 places in 1 straight, down to 5th place. The 2 McLarens back up into 3rd and 4th. Josh going defensive. He can't change direction again, though. He's done it twice there.
Oh,
and,
it's Takubi!
Takubi spins!
Oh, what happened there?
Did you see any contact there,
I did not see that, unfortunately. I had a very bad camera angle. But, that was weird.
We couldn't see what happened there.
As Josh is now going to be very vulnerable.
Yeah, he doesn't have his teammate to back him up here. There goes Katzper and Jacek up into 3rd place. Leading the way is Marius Anderson, but he has a 3-second time penalty. He's done a strategic masterclass here at Belgium as Josh is trying to fight with with Katzper and Jacek towards the bus stop. Josh is going to dive it. He's not going to make it stick, but out to the front. Marius Anderson will cross the line first. It'll be Ghosty who will win the race, though, after the penalties. Katzper and Jacek does not benefit from the 3-second time penalty of his teammates. He will come home in 3rd place with AMS Josh in 4th. The title will go to the final round in Abu Dhabi. It is not won today, but congratulations to Aston Martin, Marius Anderson and Katzper and Jacek. They are the Tier 1 Constructors Champions of Season 11. So congratulations to that man right there. Goat Ghosty winning on his Tier 1 debut for Mercedes after a tyre-saving masterclass. Alongside him on the podium, the 2 Aston Martins who are crowned Constructors Champions. 4th place was not enough for AMS Josh to clinch the title here today, so that will go to the final round as Esko Clevy impresses on his Mercedes debut. It's another solid performance by Luffer in P6, but there'll be conversations to be had at RB as contact between the 2 teammates sees them finish 9th and 10th. Outside of the points, Imu, Adrian and Ula and an uncharacteristically low Lewis Jones in P12, whilst the 2 Hassers and 2 Red Bulls did not finish. As for the drivers' standings heading into the final round, Josh has the odds firmly in his favour as he leads by 16 points over Katzper Jędrzejczyk. Lufu climbs from 6th to 4th as his 2 rivals in the RB collide, whilst Marius Anderson drags himself into the fight for 4th. It's also a successful afternoon for Mercedes as both of their drivers enter the top 16. Ghosty's 25 points for a victory, taking him to 12th. Aston Martin are your Tier 1 Constructors Champions in Season 11 as they cannot be caught heading into the final round. 18.5 points separate 2nd and 4th as Ferrari, Williams and RB do battle over runners-up. Mercedes, Haas and Alpine are separated by just 7 points in the fight for 6th. And finally, in the constructors' standings, Aston Martin are firm favourites to wrap up the title here, as well as they are 68 points clear of McLaren, who are more interested in looking over their shoulder at RB, just 6.5 points separating the two of them. Ferrari are still in the fight for second, but need a miracle weekend if they are to stand a chance. And so we go to the final race of Season 11 under the lights in Abu Dhabi. You do not want to miss the climax of this thrilling title battle. Make sure you follow us on all our social media, watch our races live on Twitch and subscribe right here on YouTube so you don't miss any of the action.